polarizing women today in the ongoing debate of what men want from women, what women want from men in love, romance, relationships, and maybe instead of being men versus women, we all want men with women, women with men. We're trying to get to that point, but every once in a while something happens and jealousy will come into it. What do you do if an old attractive flame comes in town and all of a sudden you start thinking about those
Get
old
away.
days?
Stay away.
Right.
Stay away. Because there's no way you're going to allow your ex to have a relationship with a person they were already intimate with. That's ridiculous.
But wait a minute, come on now. My friend's in town. I haven't seen them since college. They're in town. I got to go see them for lunch.
You won't see them again.
I think you are insecure if you are worried about whether or not
everybody's insecure.
With somebody else. Really. And if she's starting to think about whether or not she should sleep with him, then there may be something that's going on.
She probably will.
You know what? That sounds real practical. Exactly. But the reality is, you are not going to feel comfortable. Here's an attractive woman who this man has already experienced. Right. You are setting yourself up. And by the way, everybody's insecure to a degree.
What if she goes along with it? What if he's going along and with it too? It's like that piece of chocolate cake. The more that you make him not do it, the more he's going to want to, too.
But let me ask, Dr. Joyce Brothers, when you, because this happens a lot. I mean, friendships do happen, and you're really blessed if you're still in a positive relationship with an old flame. So those things happen. How are you supposed to deal with it, particularly if you don't want your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife to go see them?
To what?
If you don't want them. I mean, how do you say, please don't do that, honey?
Well, what you do is you get into your car and you drive through the kitchen, turn right at the bedroom, and run them over.
Do you think it's possible? I mean,
that's what a suggestion.
I have a lot of friends who say, don't let them go out with that old flame.
I
want to hear Joyce. Joyce?
You should not let him go out with the old flame. We develop a love map in our heads at very little age. And that love map spells love for us. And it's from our mothers that we get this love map, what our mother's personality is like. And when we fall in love with the same kind of individual over and over again. So it's very easy for that little flame to become a bonfire.
That reminds me, somebody said one time, why do I keep getting the same old man? And the answer is because you're the same old woman.
All right. I like that.
I disagree, because the more you tighten that chain, the more he's going to balk. You give him enough rope to hang himself on. That's number one. And number two, you make yourself so cool, so hot, that even when he's with her, he's going to be looking forward to getting back to you and want you, and that's what you do. That's what I think that you do.
The ultimate answer is that you let them go to see their friend, but you go along.
No. Kevin?
I got nothing to say. I'm just tired of them talking.
Okay, let's throw this on the table, folks. Jealousy. Young man, how do you deal with jealousy in a relationship?
I ain't got to worry about jealousy. I know where my woman is at the
Yeah! he got one of those badges on him.
My woman is here, so I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Where is your woman?
Keep it real, G.
Where is she? Michael, what's the best way to deal with jealousy in a relationship? Because sometimes jealousy in a relationship can run your partner right out the door.
A lot of women are attracted to jealous men. That's the thing that's really odd to me. Yeah. Because eventually it can turn very violent. I'm not saying it's a good thing. But now that's when we're talking about the insecurity factor. You know what's interesting to me? More men are insecure about their money than they are looks. In other words, if you walk into a room with your man and he's better looking than the other men, but he's less financially well off, you will find yourself in a lot of conflict. So I think that, it's based on what you want. I think when you said you bring a lot to the table as a woman, you attract the man who maybe isn't so insecure. That's where jealousy comes in.
From the audience.
You said that you can't compete with another man's penis. What you mean by that? Why when y'all cheat, y'all the man, but when we cheat, we chicken heads?
Okay, let me explain. She's talking about a conversation we had tonight, and she asked me, why can't men tolerate with their women cheating? And I told her very honestly, the first thing on a man's mind when he finds out his woman is cheating is what the size of that other man's Johnson is. That is the first thing a man is thinking. Yes, it is. It is. And I'm telling you that men cannot handle that. That's why they become so violent, and so they are so upset with that
Kevin, what do you want to say?
I have a question for her. I have a question for you. What's your name? What's your name?
LaShawn.
What's a chicken head?
Yeah, I don't know.
We were talking about sex drives. What do you do when one partner just needs a little more sex than the other? When your drive's different.
And hopefully you find someone that you're compatible with that's pretty similar. Obviously, there's going to be times one of you wants and one of you doesn't. That's certainly normal to be expected. But if there's a big difference and it goes on for a period of time, it makes a huge amount of pressure in the relationship. You have to say to your partner, if it's a woman speaking to her husband, darling, I love being with you so much. It's so wonderful. I would like to do that more. How do you feel about it? You have to ask for it, but you have to do it without saying, you just aren't giving me enough.
Well, what about on those times that, you just don't feel into it, and your guy is like hot and sweating?
You can have a headache once a week, but I don't want to hear about a headache 3 or 4 times a week.
But a lot of times when you say I've got a headache just that one time, you've got to deal with attitude for the
I don't
next
think that's a problem if you had some the day before, but if I haven't had any for a whole week, and it's one thing you can't coach, Rolonda. You can talk about all these things about, touching and all, but you can't coach stamina, and you can't coach the type of thing you're talking about, sex drive. I think, to be honest with you, that if it's that different, that's a relationship that's not going to work.
See, guys are always worried about having an erection, so you got to reassure him that he doesn't have to have the erection for you to enjoy it, and he could just
Really?
touch you.
I'd like to have a show of hands on that one.
Yeah, oh,
What?
Let's make him feel good. Is it okay for him to not have an erection? Yes!
This lady says there's no sex if there's no erection.
That's the problem.
Wait, Bob.
You have to enjoy.
Wait. Let me ask Dr. Judy something. Have you ever been in bed? Can I ask you a question? Have you ever been in bed and not had an erection? You don't know what I'm talking
Because our lubrication is the same thing as his erection. If we're dry, we're feeling a little funny about it.
It's a little different.
Yes, what do you say? From the audience. Come on.
What's your name? The one Kevin.
Michael.
Michael.
I'm Bob. He's Michael.
Michael.
That's Kevin.
You act like it's all about you, but you know what? A woman can look at you and see you don't have anything.
You're making a big mistake, sister. Let me tell you something. Without even having to defend
Wait a minute. Michael gets to respond to that.
I have no, you know what? Let me say this one thing. Don't ever judge a book by its cover, sister. Don't ever do that. Don't ever make that mistake.
This is a hardback, not a paperback.
Women need a dog. You must be only dealt with all dogs, and a low dog at that.
Well, again, that's personal. I respect your opinion. Next question.
Dogs and chickens. What's going
Right
on?
over here, yes.
Michael, I heard you mention, why are women cheating so much more? Why are women attracted to dogs? Why are women attracted to men who are jealous? Michael, we don't want dogs. We don't want jealous men. We're bored. We are bored out of our minds.
Well, if you're bored,
will you give us something to be excited about?
If you are
We're bored.
I think that Bob made a very good point, or maybe it was Kevin. He said there's these 4 men that have all these women, and it's true.
One at a time. Let her respond.
It's true. You're saying that women are bored, but I'm telling you, the game is still alive and well, miss. Don't fool yourself into believing that women are tired, because what you do as a man, you go on to the next one who is not tired and run your game on her. That's how it is.
Women don't want to play games anymore.
I understand, and I'm not saying this is an adult man. I'm saying this if you're out there involved in it.
You're intimidated by the fact that we don't want to play games, and we're very straightforward now.
I don't think it's a matter of intimidation. It's a lifestyle.
Yes, Bob.
If women are not interested in playing games so much, why is the Rules the hottest selling book in America now? Because that whole book is about teaching women how to play games, and women are buying
Exactly.
You know, I read that book, and it almost drove me crazy.
Good for you.
I could not do it, and I really think I just...
But Rolonda, why do you think so many women are buying that book?
Because guys are not treating them right, that's why. But I disagree.
Teaches women how to lie.
I agree. I don't think they should.
I think the best way to deal with a relationship is just be real about it. Just be honest.